Good morning, everybody. It's been a pretty rough week for the US economy, even though they did have lower CPI data, so lower inflation did come in for the US, and lower PPI data, that's product price index. Their bond yields still went up, even with the lower inflation data and the lower growth projections. Now, why are their bond yields ticking up? Well, I said this earlier in the week, it looks like there's a liquidity crisis in the US. Hedge funds have what's called a basis trade, which is essentially a leverage trade, and many other countries as well are dumping US treasuries. Remember, as I said earlier in the week, bonds operate the exact opposite as a stock does. When there's lots and lots of selling of a bond, the price actually goes up. Stocks are the opposite. So the US Treasury market is showing that there's these liquidity problems. That's why their yields are going up, which means rates in the US, when it comes to the fixed side, they're not really going down. We also have our bond yields that have gone up a bit. They've gone up to there. Now, some of our lenders have increased their fixed rates somewhere between like 0.05 bips to 0.2 bips. So not much of an increase. Is it going to last? It all depends on how long these yields stay at this level, or are they going to trend downward? It all depends. But not every lender has done that increase yet. Maybe more will follow suit later next week. We shall see what the markets are doing. Lots of volatility. Volatility might not even be the word. Probably can't say the word I really want to use. There's other things too to look at too. We're seeing the US dollar start to go down in value. Could be a sign that many countries are looking at the US as not really a viable investment anymore, with the treasury yields being sold, not just for liquidity reasons. That could be another reason why, but also you see the strength of the dollar dropping, which means our dollar is going up. Let's take a peek at oil. And you can see here in the month of April, the plummet, well, I shouldn't say plummet, but this is Brent crude, was almost 75 bucks a barrel. It dropped below 65 bucks a barrel. Now it's hitting around 65 bucks a barrel. So remember, that's great for the gas pump. I know I filled up my truck this week a little bit cheaper. Also, we do have that carbon tax off fuel gone as well. But keep in mind, there is a point where oil can be per barrel too cheap, and then we have a real crisis economically there too. Oil is very important to watch. Yes, we want cheap gas, but there could also be large amounts of layoffs in the oil fields of Alberta if oil gets too low, and also a global problem if oil prices get too low. But it is great to keep our inflation numbers in. So inflation for the last month and this month should be pretty good data. We have a rate announcement coming this coming week by the Bank of Canada. I still expect a cut.